What's going on, guys? Bengal again here, coming back at you with another video, and today we're doing a quiz. I do this every year, or at least the past couple of years, and it's where we really test how much did the past year of studying players, studying film, learning everything there is about the 2022 NFL Draft and the prospects, and even post-draft, finding out about some players I didn't know about before they were drafted, and there are a few of those. Now, the question is, will I be able to remember everybody? That's going to be a big challenge, but we're doing can you name the players taken in the 2022 NFL Draft? You guys see me wear these all the time. They're my Felix Gray blue light filtering glasses, and they filter up to 15 times more blue light than competitors. You can put your prescription right in if you wear glasses too, so they work for that as well. And I use these all the time, especially late at night when I'm editing or even just watching a show to wind down. And it is so important to wind down at the end of the night. If you're looking at screens, even your phone, right? You want to be wearing blue light filtering glasses so you can sleep way more easily. I used to have a really tough time sleeping, and that's because I'm looking at screens all day, every day, pretty much because of my job, right? But since I've been wearing the blue light glasses, I'm sleeping way better. They even have really extreme ones you can choose for extra deep sleep if you want. But these are the Seneca Mist colorway. They're my go-to from Felix Gray. I like them. They're the regular ones. I can't recommend them highly enough. And if you don't love these, they have so many different styles to choose from on their website. You're going to get felixgray.com. Use code BENGAL10 to get 10% off on your purchase of blue light filtering glasses. That's code BENGAL10 for 10% off on getfelixgray.com. Worst case scenario, you don't like them, money back guarantee. So you've got nothing to lose, everything to gain, but I guess you are going to be losing eye pain and eye strain and sleeping better. You're not going to be losing sleep anymore like that. FelixGray.com. Link is down in the description. And thanks to Felix Gray for sponsoring the video. All right, 18 minutes on the clock. We have 262 to get. I'm shooting for 200. I think I should be able to get 200, which is a lot of players, by the way. If I come short, you know what? I gave it my best effort. But, I mean, some of the players I watched didn't even get drafted, like Mekhi Polk and Abram Smith, just to name a couple. I mean, Justin Ross, obviously, I think is a big one everybody knows about. Carson Strong. I mean, there were a lot of undrafted guys that are bouncing around this brain. Well, hopefully we can get all of the drafted ones. We'll start out with Trayvon Walker from Georgia, and I'm going to do last names to save time. It's going to fill up some other ones as well. You can count that as cheating. Somebody said that before. Cry. Aiden Hutchinson was your second overall pick, followed up by Derek Stingley out of LSU. Cincy corner is, well, there's going to be another one later, but Ahmad Gardner, Sauce. Oregon, D end is Kayvon Thibodeau. Ike Ekwonu comes next. Evan Neal from Bama. Drake London. Charles Cross from Mississippi State. Misspelled that. Nick Cross from Maryland, too. But, I mean, I would have gotten that. I know a lot of these guys, trust me. Just doing the last name isn't cheating, all right? Garrett Wilson. Chris Olave. Jamison Williams. Wow, I thought a lot of other Williams would pop up, I guess. Williams is usually a common name, but I guess not a lot in this one. Jordan Davis. Notre Dame safety is Kyle Hamilton. Kenyon Green is the A&M guard. Penn State, Jahan Dotson. Boston College is Zion Johnson. That gets a few. Kyron Johnson, who might have been tough, honestly. Jermaine Johnson obviously would have gotten that. Traylon Burks. Trevor Penning out of Northern Iowa. Pitt QB is Kenny Pickett. Got Trent McDuffie out of Washington. Florida corner is Kaiir Elam. Tulsa guard / tackle, probably going to play guard, is Tyler Smith. Iowa center is Tyler Linderbaum for the Ravens. Utah linebacker is Devin Lloyd. Georgia D tackle for the Packers, Devontae Wyatt. Cole Strange out of UT Chattanooga. Senior Bowl guy for the Patriots. Obviously, kind of a crazy first-round pick, according to a lot of people. He's good, though. Purdue D-end is George Karlaftis, the Greek freak. Kyle Hamilton, fun fact, also born in Greece. Michigan safety Daxton Hill, followed up by Lewis Seen. Logan Hall, defensive end / D tackle from Houston. We have Christian Watson up next. Roger McCreary. Baylor safety is Jalen Petrie. You know, I found Madden Ultimate Team lists him as a corner. I was watching a buddy of mine, Wheels, stream. I'm at corner, but he could be a slot, so I guess it's not crazy, but I think it is wrong. Penn State D-end is Arnold Ebiketie. Chicago Bears corner is Kyler Gordon at a UW. Minnesota D-end, there should be another one later as well. It says Yotomowo, but this is Boye Mafe. Clemson is Andrew Booth. Another Clemson corner later. Well, actually, you know, he transferred to Georgia, Darian Kendrick from the Rams. We'll get to him. Kentucky receiver is Wan'Dale Robinson for the Giants. Also got Brian Robinson and Mark Robinson. Maybe would have missed Mark Robinson, linebacker at Ole Miss for the Steelers in the 7th round. Or 6th round, something late in the draft. But it would have gotten Brian for sure. Alabama receiver is John Mechie. Michigan D-end is David Ajabo. Kentucky's Josh Pascal. He has a funny dentistry commercial in the Kentucky area. Pretty funny. I would check it out. It reminds me of the Terry Tate office linebacker commercials, if you guys remember those. Next up is Fedarian Mathis. A lot of guys call him Phil. Don't really get that, but I mean, FHI to start. Just call him Phil. Penn State safety is Jaquan Brisker, followed up by Alontae Taylor, Tyquan Thornton. Nebraska center is Cam Jurgens. Georgia receiver George Pickens, Alec Pierce, Sky Moore. 3 straight receivers. Tight end is Trey McBride. All right, type McBridge. That's not it. McBride. Central Michigan tackle is not Bernard Ryman. It's Luke Gadecki for the Bucks. Troy Anderson, Montana State linebacker. There's another Montana State linebacker. Later, I see that LAR, and also I remember him getting drafted. I don't know that I'm going to come up with his name. When I was watching Montana State, it was for Troy Anderson. Shocker. Minnesota guard is, I was thinking Dylan Parham for a second. It's Ed Ingram. Both ends in AM, I guess. Cam Taylor Britt comes up next. Defensive end at USC is Drake Jackson. Had some first-round buzz. Also got DeMarco Jackson, the App State linebacker, who's like 5'11" or 6 foot. I would have gotten him for sure. We have back-to-back Cooks coming up. Yep, Brian and James. James Cook, of course, Dalvin Cook's brother. Brian Cook, I'm assuming, is no relation. Not Brian Asamoah. It's the Broncos here. Oklahoma linebacker is the edge, Nick Bonito. Casa Bonito. Jacksonville is Luke Fortner, the center. Could end up being a starter. Just did a Jags rebuild. Check that out on the channel. Maybe uploaded yesterday as you watch this. Linebacker at Oklahoma, this is Brian Asamoah, Senior Bowl guy. North Carolina is Joshua Zudu for the Giants. I should get the Giants' entire draft for sure. Martin Emerson up next for the Browns after they got rid of Troy Hill. Traded him back to the Rams, who lost Darius Williams to the Jags in free agency. Speaking of the Jags with Luke Fortner. Ohio State tackle is Nicholas Petit Frere. Wyoming linebackers Chad Muma. Tennessee receiver is Valus Jones. Almost typed Valus. Just get Jones and Travis Jones and Marcus Jones and Braxton Jones. And, Jack Jones probably on there as well. I don't see him, but that's Patriots corner out of ASU, who, by way of USC, got kicked out of USC for robbing a Panda Express. Fun fact, but apparently he's changed his life, turned everything around, did a 180, so congrats to him. Maybe not a 180, still playing football, right? Washington State tackle is Abe Lucas for Seattle. Always nice when, these Nats, dude. Always nice when a UW guy stays local. 12 minutes, we'll get to the Colts with Jelani Woods. The first of 2 really athletic tight ends they would take. We're going to get to the Youngstown State tight end later. I think it's Andrew Ogletree. I'll save that, though. We'll go in order. And that's a player I didn't know about pre-draft. Did not know about him, but found out about him later. Really good athlete. The Colts drafted like all stud athletes. Pretty much what they were going for. ATL quarterback Desmond Ritter. Wasn't stalling for time there. Just giving you a little anecdote. Christian Harris, linebacker, Alabama to the Texans. Colts tackle. This is Bernard Ryman. Austrian transfer student, former tight end turned tackle. He's only been playing tackle for a few years, but is already quite good. He's just super old. I think that's why he fell. And it is not amazing, but is still developing. UAB defensive end is going to be Alex Wright, who's listed at 6'7" on the UAB website, but is actually like 6'5", which is kind of a huge discrepancy. I think he was like 6'5" at the combine. UCLA tight end is Greg Dulcich, maybe the best true wide tight end in this draft. At least the best like vertical threat tight end. Like McBride, I kind of prefer all around. Slot corner is, for the Giants, Cordell Slot. Western Kentucky linebacker is actually an edge. It's D'Angelo Malone. If you would have told me, another Senior Bowl guy, by the way, if you would have told me that he was going before Nakobe Dean, who's up next, before the draft started, I would have called you a liar. Texas A&M defensive end is DeMarvin Leal. I just typed deal. DeMarvin Leal for the Steelers. Liberty quarterbacks, Malik Willis, Cam Thomas up next. Jalen Tolbert following that. entire left side done. That's into round 3. As you go back up. Hopefully this is all on screen. I don't want to check over because I'm going to get accused of cheating probably. Oh, you got the answers on your other monitor. Terrell Bernard, Buffalo. Las Vegas is Dylan Parham. Rashad White for the Bucks, who I actually like a lot. Really like Rashad White. For all you fantasy guys out there, that'd be my sneaky guy this year is Rashad White. We'll have to see. Not really a huge fantasy guy, but do a little DFS, and I might do some fantasy stuff on the channel in the future. I think you guys would really like to see that from what you've told me, so I'm going to listen. Sean Ryan up next, guard flexibility. I think he's going to be a swing guard, maybe a swing tackle, but he's probably a swing guard for the Packers, but can play tackle in a pinch, play tackle at UCLA. Running back for LSU, or out of LSU for the 49ers now is Tyrion Davis-Price. Type Davis-Price. Matt Corral, Zachary Carter, Kirby Joseph. Purdue receiver is David Bell. Myjai Sanders, who was at like 220 pounds, 225 at the combine. Apparently was really sick and lost 20 or so pounds, but is healthy now and ends up going, you know, fairly high in the draft. I think this is 3rd round still. Is it? I think it's close, because I want to say Damian Pierce was a 4th rounder. Anyway, Jeremy Ruckert, Georgia linebacker for the Dolphins, is Channing Tindall. I've heard Tyndall, too. I think it's Tyndall. I'm not... Someone's going to help me out with that. Back-to-back Wisconsin players, we have Leo Chanel, even though it's spelled Chanel. Leo Chanel. Logan Bruss. Danny Gray is the SMU receiver. Cade Otton is just your Cameron Brate replacement, even though he's still there. Oklahoma defensive tackle is Perrion Winfrey, Senior Bowl guy, won Senior Bowl MVP. Cincy corner is Kobe Bryant. Offensive tackle for Minnesota is Daniel Fa'alele. I believe he's from Australia. I want to say so. Max Mitchell, the Raging Cajun. Also get James Mitchell, the Virginia Tech tight end, who I would have definitely got. San Diego State tight end is Daniel Bellinger, future tight end one for the Giants. Really actually liked him quite a lot. Thought he was a pretty good blocker, good red zone threat tight end. Hopefully he ends up being the tight end one for the Giants. Louisiana safety is Percy Butler. Didn't know much about him pre-draft until Daniel Jeremiah called him the best gunner in the draft. I'm like, all right, I got to look into this guy. Yeah, pretty good special teams player. Iowa safety is going to be a hybrid guy for the Giants, probably Dane Belton, but backup strong safety. Iowa State defensive tackle, who's actually listed as an edge some places. It's Ioma Uwazurike. Kind of a tough one to spell, but I'm going to hype myself up here a little bit. I'm so good at spelling. There's something about it. I don't know why. Just my strength. Can't do math at all. This Michael Clemens, who should learn how to spell, spells his first name Michael. Guess that's his parents' fault. Or maybe he's Michael, but I think it's Michael Clemens for the Jets. Their last pick in the draft came in the 4th round. Minnesota corner for out of Mizzou is Caleb Evans. Alabama corner is so obvious. You knew the Ravens were going to take either Jalen Armour-Davis or another undrafted guy, Josh Jobe out of Bama, but they go Jalen Armour-Davis. Baltimore's drafted a Bama player every year. It just, like clockwork, it's going to happen. Like, you can point to so many. So many. Can't do it now, but, I mean, I'll name a couple. Anthony Averett, who's on the Raiders now. Marlon Humphrey. Just a couple. And there are a lot more than that. Running back at A&M is Isaiah Spiller. Cade York is the kicker. Texas A&M, or Texas Tech receiver is Eric Ezekama. There we go. Neil Farrell, nose tackle at LSU. Pierre Strong Jr. out of South Dakota State. I think Brett Coleman likes him quite a lot. Charlie Kolar up next. Jake Ferguson, back-to-back tight ends. Jordan Stout. Oh, we're going to be on a roll here. Hassan Haskins, Romeo Dubs, Jake Camarda, Spencer Burford, the tackle at a UTSA for the Niners. We're mowing through this. North Dakota State offensive tackle is Cordell Volson. Could play guard for the Bengals too, I think. Western Kentucky quarterbacks Bailey Zappi. Memphis receiver for the Steelers is the little guy, Calvin Austin. Another Senior Bowl guy, was really good there. Isaiah Likely. Wake Forest is Zach Tom. Not to be confused with Zachary Thomas, who I think is later, but I think we already got that with Cam Thomas. South Carolina State corner is Jacoby Durant. Had 2 picks against Clemson. Fun fact about him. I think he was a Senior Bowl guy as well. Could have been East-West Shrine, but I think he was Senior Bowl. It's tough to remember sometimes. Maryland tight end is really more of an H-back. It's Chig Okonkwo. Chigoziem Okonkwo. UNC quarterback is Sam Howell. Kentucky tackle could be a guard is Darian Kennard. Micah McFadden is your Indiana linebacker for the Giants, followed up by the tackle DJ Davidson. Boise State receiver is Khalil Shakir. Cole Turner. Thomas Booker. BYU running back is Tyler Algier. DeLarin Turner-Yell, another combine invite guy. Broncos safety, UTSA corner is Tariq Woolen. I'm starting to go a little bit faster because I see 5 minutes left. I want to get all these. Snoop Connor up next. North Dakota offensive tackle is Matt Waletzko. There we go. Kind of a tough one to spell as well. I think he's another Senior Bowl guy. Cincinnati running back, I believe was a Bama transfer. It's Jerome Ford. Sam Houston State corner is my guy Zion McCollum. UCLA offensive or defensive tackle is Tito Obanaya. It's funny, I did in my mock draft. I predicted him to go there in my like 4th or 5th round mock draft or whatever it was, and someone was like, "That's stupid." Like people who mock defensive tackle to the Chargers don't watch the Chargers, and then they draft literally the guy I said. The Samford receiver is Montrell Washington. He had a big game against Florida that really put him on the map for me. He had a kick return touchdown and a big touchdown, I believe, as a receiver. I think he had probably 10 catches for over 100 yards in that game. UCLA receiver is Kyle Phillips with 1 L. And Phillips. The Minnesota defensive end is Asezio Tamawo. How do you spell that? Like that. Toledo safety is Tyson Anderson, not to be confused with Troy Anderson, who spells his last name with an E. Tyson Anderson's quite good, by the way. I like him. I thought that was really good value for the Bengals in like the 5th or 6th. Dallas corners Deron Bland, another guy who kind of came on my radar late in the draft season. I think Daniel Jeremiah was tweeting out clips, and I checked him out. Deron Bland, I kind of like a lot. I like Dallas's draft overall. Minnesota running back is like 24 years old. It's Ty Chandler at UNC. UNC just had running backs for days 2 years ago. Oregon State tight end for the Texans is Tegan Quitoriano. I've mispronounced that so many times this draft season. Hopefully I finally got it. Center out of Washington. I'm not even getting a name. The Toledo corner, I think I know. But is it Samuel Womack? Yes. Marcus McKeithen is the Giants guard. He's a huge dude. I only have 3 minutes left, though. Damone Clark, big number 18 for the Cowboys. Or, well, LSU, but he played LSU at number 18 on the Cowboys now. Going to need, I think, spinal fusion surgery, so prayers up to him for a speedy recovery if you're into that. Just hoping for him to get better. John Ridgeway, another Cowboy. Big D tackle to Arkansas. South Carolina defensive end is J.J. Enagbare, or Kingsley. There it is. San Diego State, it is punt god, Matt Ariza. Darian Beavers, Giants linebacker. Offensive tackle for Illinois is Vidarian Lowe. I think he could end up being a decent player. I thought he was good value. I think he had a really good performance against George Karlaftis, if I remember correctly. When I watched them play Purdue. Was it Karlaftis or was it Hutt? I think it was Karlaftis. Tough to get those Big Ten defensive ends recognized. Villanova corner, I know. I looked into him post-draft. Is it Christian Benford? It is. Wow, I'm surprised I remember that name. Fordham offensive tackle is someone I couldn't get film of. Only saw him in one-on-ones at the Senior Bowl, I believe. It's Nick Zakel with a J at the end. Zakel. Oklahoma State linebacker is Rodriguez, who's only like 5'11", but he's a really good athlete. Virginia Tech linebacker is not really more of an edge. It's Amari Barno. I have almost no time. Georgia offensive guard is Justin Schaefer for the Falcons. Other one's going to be Jamari Sawyer later. Michigan State receivers, they need some hands, but it's Jalen Naylor, big deep threat. Youngstown State tight end, talked about him earlier. It's Andrew Ogletree. Really good athlete. Looked into him post-draft. Did not know him when he got drafted. Oklahoma State linebacker that isn't Malcolm Rodriguez. I'm not getting it. Here's Jamari Sawyer coming up next. Mizzou running back is Tyler Beatty. Washita Baptist corner I'm not getting. SMU tight end is Grant Calcaterra. Tennessee guard is former 5-star. Went to Georgia. I looked into this yesterday, actually. His dad, on a recruiting trip, had his finger severed. Wild. And then he transferred to Tennessee. And then they sued Georgia, I think. Wild stuff. The Baylor running back that isn't Abram Smith, I don't know. Austin Deculus. He has a funny Twitter ad. I think it's Ridiculous. Wisconsin D tackle, I don't know. I have 30 seconds. Let me get to the ones I know for a fact. Connor Hayward, Cam Hayward's brother. What is Temecula? Not Temecula. That's a place. Something like that. What's Carnell Lake's kid? I say Lake. Quentin Lake. There's Darian Kendrick. This is a blocking tight end. Fitzpatrick. Houston. Cokeeft. Chance Campbell. Castro Fields. I didn't get it. Oh my god, I ran out of time. I get so many more of these, but I'm fucking telling stories. Alright, tell you what. I'm not going to look at those names. I got 219 out of 262. That's my score. 219 out of 62. I'm going to replay it, though. And continue the list just for the sake of the video. See how many I can know. Where was I? We got Tyler Beatty, Cade Mays, Calcaterra. The Missouri State defensive end is like an interior defensive lineman. Northwest Missouri State is Eric Roberts. Sam Roberts. All right. Whatever. Sam Roberts. Another guy I had to look at a post-draft. Can't find film on him. It's impossible. But saw a couple of highlights. That's kind of all I got. Northwest Missouri State, dude. Not easy to get your hands on. But I have time now, because now nothing's on the line. I'm just trying to do it for my own sanity. USC running back. USC running back. Is that the Texas transfer? Is that Keontae Ingram? It is. He would have popped up earlier, though, with Ed Ingram. Oklahoma receiver for the Browns. Charleston Rambo? Okay, he transferred to Miami anyway. That doesn't make sense. I don't know that I know who that is. Safety out of Tennessee, I don't know. I got Austin Deculus earlier. Wisconsin D tackle, I don't know. Or Hayward. Tanuna? Luke Tanuna? That's something like that. What is the Virginia Tech tackle's name? Luke Tenuta? Luke Tenuta. Let's go, baby. I got Lake. I got Kendrick. I got Fitzpatrick. Dude, I could have gotten so more of these. So many more. I don't know that I know the other Virginia Tech guard. The Cincinnati D tackle, was that Johnson? No. He's like a hybrid defensive end. Another like great athlete. Is it Robinson? No, we got Mark. Well, I can't remember his name. Cannot remember his name. Robinson, Johnson, something. Rogers. I don't know. Jackson State linebackers James Houston. A lot of people really like that pick. Former like Power 5 guy, I think, and he transferred to Jackson State. Cokeeft, big blocking tight end from Minnesota. The draft call was pretty cool for him. Chance Campbell. Kalia Davis follows me on Instagram. We've talked. Nice guy. Wishing him the best. Teaming up with Tariq Castro Fields. The Arkansas corner. Oh. That is... That's going to be tough for me to come up with right now. We got Thomas here. Isaiah Thomas, which we would have had earlier. What is the... I can remember Spencer Burford. I can't remember the Arkansas corner. I'm close to it. I got it earlier. He has a name of somebody I've gotten on this list earlier that I don't have anymore. Clearly, it's like that's on the tip of my tongue. I watched him too. How do I not? I don't watch Spencer Benford or Christian Benford. I remember his name. I can't get this guy. I don't know. Same thing with the Southern guard. Very gettable. I think it's Tyree Carter. Who was the Arkansas corner? I don't know. Georgia Tech linebackers, Tariq Carpenter. Rutgers is Bo Melton. Chris Paul coming up next. The Clemson linebacker is Balin Spector. Hard to forget that name. The Wisconsin corner. I don't know. I don't feel like I know a lot of these. Chase Lucas, I see. For the Lions. Thayer Munford, I see. Oklahoma State corner, no shot. I do remember Chris Oladokin, because I hopefully I didn't butcher his name again. Because I butchered it in a couple videos, at least one, and someone's like, I went to school with him. I sat next to him in bio. This is how you say his name. Nice guy. Well, there you go. Baylor corner is Kalon Barnes. Or Kalen, I think it's Kalon Barnes. Ran 4.23 at the combine. Something close. Very fast. Washington State corner is another guy I watched. Big dude. Combine invite. What is his name? It's not Joshua Williams, who went to Fayetteville State. Oh, God, I got his face in my mind, too. Ah, that's so frustrating. I have his face in my mind. I know what it is. Damn, I don't know. That's frustrating. Jalen what? Jalen with a Y for sure. Jalen what? Oh, God. I don't know. I'm going to come back to that one. Valdosta State corner. No, is Michigan offensive Andrew Stuber? Yes. Texas Tech center. I don't know. Skylar Thompson. LSU defensive end. That isn't Ali Gay or BJ Ojolari, who are there now. I don't know. Next up is Rasheed Walker. UCLA running back is Britton Brown. Shocked to see him get... Monteric Brown. That's it. Monteric Brown. Shoot. I'm annoyed I couldn't come up with that. Jalen Watson. Yes! Washington State corner. Isn't it strange that just clicks sometimes? Isaiah Pacheco. Rutgers running back. Coastal Carolina D end is Jeffrey Gunter. Misspelled it. Kansas State safety is Russ Yeast. Power name. Don't know the Cal safety. Or the NC State punter. Penn State linebacker is a hybrid guy. It's Jesse Luketa. I guess I kind of forgot the Cardinals got him. Marquise is up next. So shocked he fell to the 7th. Samori Toure is up next for Nebraska. Purdue fullback is Xander Horvath. Michigan State tackle is someone I know. Oh, God. I'm not coming up with it. And the Iowa State quarterback is Brock Purdy. So that's how I did on this. I'm going to try to fill in the rest as fast as I can without commentary. And see how many I would have had. I'm going to have to fly through this. So Alabama receiver reminded me of Slade Bolden. I'm trying to go through this as fast as I can. I just think the videos are not as good if I'm just typing in names. I don't think that's like nearly as fun. But I think if I'm like maybe giving a story to, I just got a name for typing in Taylor. Who did I get? Oh, Jasir Taylor from Wake Forest. Yeah, I remember him. Tough to remember in the moment sometimes. I guess technically I did just do this quiz, but I am absolutely flying through it. And I think I could have done this as well. But as I said, I just don't think the video is like nearly even as good. It's just me typing names at that point. If I'm not talking or providing some type of insight, it literally just is typing names. And I guess that's what it kind of comes down to. And I really wish I would have gotten all that I think I should have. But content first, baby. Another thing with this, like the storytelling or whatever, it's be so much easier if I could do these quizzes in advance, obviously, because then I could time it and I would know, okay, I have this much to spend on each player. But obviously that would defeat the entire purpose of the video if I was literally just, you know, if I had taken it before. But, you know, what are you going to do? Like, I know I've tried to rationalize this like several times so far, but it is content first. All right, so I think I'm all caught up. This is kind of where we are. 241 out of 262 is, I guess, how many names I can pull out of the top of my head. I'm surprised I got some of these guys. Like, some of them came way too easily, but I guess when you're the only Villanova corner drafted, it's not too hard to remember you. And some of these guys I was able to watch. Some of these names escape me, and I guess I'm okay with that. Like, I don't remember the name of the Washington center. Like, it doesn't even feel familiar. NC State punter, I don't know. The Cal safety, I think I might. The LSU defensive end, surely I know. The Valdosta State corner, I'm kind of surprised I didn't get either. Because I remember, not that it's even close to, I mean, it is close to the same. Because Steven Denmark, who's a 7th-round pick of the Bears, either last year or 2 years ago, was a Valdosta State guy that I had seen. And I can pull Steven Denmark like that. Yet I have no idea who this Valdosta State corner is. I know the Michigan State tackle as well. But I think this is where I would legitimately tap out. 241, give or take like 3 or 4, because they have the same last name, that maybe I couldn't have come up with. Are there any on this side I couldn't have come up with? Jordan Jackson, I do not know, out of Air Force. So that's 1. Michael Woods out of Oklahoma, I would not have been able to come up with. Theo Jackson, that's 3. I don't remember watching him. Mark Robinson's 4. Jonathan Ford is 5 for Miami. Rodney Thomas from Yale is 6. I wouldn't have been able to come up with him. And Nazee Johnson from Marshall. So I'll give you 6. Subtract 6 from this total, and I think that's how many I could have named. I mean, I'm going to know some of the other guys. I know the Baylor running back too, but Abram Smith is in my name, and that's not who it is. So that's kind of where I got to top out. But I think that's very respectable. 241 is an incredible effort, in my opinion. Luke Wattenberg out of Washington. Doesn't really ring a bell. Some of these names are tough. Curtis Brooks. Yeah, great athlete out of Cincinnati. Hybrid edge player. Gonna be a decent developmental prospect for sure. I know him. I couldn't come up with his name for some reason. That's a little frustrating. Devin Harper, I couldn't have come up with. Gregory Jr., that's right. That's a memorable name too. I should have had that one. Tristan Ebner, that's not as memorable as I thought. Matt Henningsen, I can't tell you anything about. Doug Kramer, no. Chasen Hines, no. Cameron Good, yeah, that name sounds familiar. Nick Muse as well. Fionn Hicks, I know. Derek Young is another name I know. Daniel Hardy, I could not have come up with. Dean Leonard, same deal. Christian Holmes, yeah. Christian Matthew, no. Dawson Deaton, yes, I could have come up with that. Damn. Andre Anthony. Oh, yeah, that dude's like 25. Yeah, Andre Anthony, 25 years old. So that's another guy I know, but I wasn't coming up with his name. Elijah Hicks, Trenton Gill. Trenton Gill's another one. I remember that name. And A.J. Arcuri. Sounds familiar. I don't remember watching him, actually. I mean, I guess I would have seen him when I was watching Kenneth Walker, but I didn't do a tape study on him in the least. So, 92%. Pretty happy with that. 241 to get in 20 minutes or 18 minutes. 20 minutes, I think it would have done a lot better, but the 18 really cut me off a little bit early. But that's where we are. That's kind of what we have to go off. I'm happy with that performance. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. And hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed already. Haven't done a lot of draft content after a bunch of draft content. I still love the draft. I'm all about college football. I wish I could find a way to do college football stuff on this channel as well, but I don't think there's an interest for it. And I kind of have to gauge that before we talk about what content I'm going to be making and posting. But thanks for watching the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy. See me high step to the end zone. My life like a game Nintendo. Playing with the best, let them know. Get off the track, the train's coming through. Yeah. Promise you get in my way, then you best believe I'ma just run over you. Yeah, yeah. Papa turn taking it back to the house. Defensive joke, I'm laughing so loud. Speed burst good.